out of the 6, he's probably right behind AJ Styles. So I just don't see John Cena leaving this match, win or lose, looking good. Becky Lynch versus Natalya, a match that means nothing in the women's division other than a grudge match. Becky Lynch is pissed off that everybody's picking on her, and every time she thinks she's got a friend, they turn on her and beat her up. Natalya's tired of being old Miss Nice Girl. Little too late. This should have been the Natty who should have turned mean and nasty and went after the title instead of losing multiple title shots to Charlotte being the good girl. She should have snapped and went after Charlotte with this newfound attitude. So I don't care about this match. Becky Lynch, though, I feel wins this match. We already mentioned the New Day versus the Wyatts. I feel the Wyatts will come out victorious, which will lead to a SummerSlam match for the title. So it pretty much means nothing right now. Rusev versus Zack Ryder for the U.S. Championship. Kudos for Zack Ryder for just getting on TV lately. Rusev has been this newfound beast that the WWE has. They failed the first time with him, even with his long undefeated streak. They kind of bounced him around, getting a bunch of losses and jobs, and they finally, I think, realized after they finished their little grudge that they had against him and Lana for coming out with their engagement and let this guy actually go out there and perform, that Rusev is a monster. Where they failed with a guy like Brodus Clay, they can't fail with a guy like Rusev. So Rusev, I think, absolutely, no pun intended, crushes Zack Ryder and puts Zack Ryder behind the curtain probably for the next 6 months. We have The Miz versus Darren Young. Darren Young just winning the over-the-top rope battle royal to declare the number 1 contender for their Intercontinental Championship. And, of course, in his corner, he's got Bob Backlund as he is trying to make Darren Young great again. The Miz with Maurice in his corner will win this match easily. I don't mean easily. I mean, it'll probably be a decent match. The Miz is also advertised down the road at several house shows defending his Intercontinental Championship. So, like I said about Dean Ambrose, The Miz will be victorious in this match. Darren Young will slide back to obscurity. Maybe hooks up with another tag team partner. Maybe not. I think the whole let's make Darren Young great again is it's just a joke. They're again trying to hide the fact that they failed to utilize this guy and his ability, and they wanted Titus O'Neil to be a singles competitor so bad because he had all the skill sets to be a beast, a monster, a heavyweight, and he's failed to live up to it. They couldn't go back now and put them back together for a third time. So this is what they've done with Darren Young. Charlotte, the reigning and defending WWE Women's Champion, tags up with her protege Dana Brooke to take on Sasha Banks and a partner to be named. The two that have been really rumored has been Paige and NXT star Bayley. Sasha Banks, rumor has it that she doesn't want Bayley as her tag team partner at Battleground. I really don't think it's... I don't really think it's up to her. Obviously, storyline is storyline, kayfabe. It's not up to her. It would be a nice way for Bayley to finally make her debut in WWE. I don't understand why she hasn't yet. Usually, as soon as they lose that title, they kind of get bumped up into the picture. Her and Finn Balor are still in NXT despite losing their titles. Or could it be Paige? I mean, Paige was and has tagged up with Sasha Banks a couple of times on Raw. So we'll see what happens. But again, here is another example of a pay-per-view, and one of the champions, in this case, Charlotte and New Day, not defending the titles. So I just don't get it. That this is kind of what people wait for pay-per-views, is to see the titles on the line. And right now, New Day tag team titles not on the line. Charlotte, her women's championship, not on the line. So the only belts that are on the line is the heavyweight championship and the three-way, and The Miz defending his Intercontinental Championship against Darren Young. So that is all the matches. There's supposed to be a highlight reel with Y2J, and he'll have Randy Orton, which I'm sure they'll be using that failed drug test prior to the UFC fight where Brock Lesnar was victorious at UFC 2000. Of course, later on we find out it was an asthma inhaler that caused a failed drug test, so no biggie there. But I'm sure they'll use that like they've been using it against Roman Reigns to beef up Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which I think would be a very big mistake if they go that route, because nobody on the current roster has been suspended for the violation of the wellness policy more than Randy Orton, which I think he's up to 5 times. So I would not be going there as to use this as part of the storyline, but WWE never, ever, and I mean ever, learns their lesson when it comes to things like that. So who knows what's going to happen? Does Brock Lesnar make an appearance? Does Paul Heyman make an appearance? Of course, the highlight reels usually end up in some kind of disaster. And if it's Jericho and Orton, somebody's got to come out and cause a little ruckus. So maybe it's Heyman. Maybe Heyman comes out, gets in the face of Orton. Orton gets his hands on Heyman. Then Lesnar storms the ring. Who knows what happens right there. But to wrap it up here, again, Charlotte, Dana Brooks taking on Sasha Banks and a partner to be named. The Miz defends his Intercontinental title against Darren Young. Rusev defends his U.S. title against Zack Ryder. The New Day take on the Wyatt family in a 3-on-3 match. Becky Lynch takes on Natalya. John Cena, Enzo, and Big Cass take on 3 members of the Club. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. And in a triple threat match for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, Dean Ambrose, the champ, defends against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, all 3 members of what used to be known as the Shield. So that is that. That is your WWE Battleground for 2016. It is what it is. It's not the best card. It's not the worst card. But leading up to SummerSlam, you figure this is it's as good as it's going to get right now. I'm kind of disappointed not to see Alberto Del Rio on the card at all, which was kind of weird. The Big Show also not on the card, which is kind of weird. Paige not on the card in any fashion, which is becoming routine. And we have 2 different women matches with the title not being defended. We have the tag team champions competing without a title being defended. We have Rusev defending his U.S. championship against a guy who wrestles on TV once every 4 months. I don't. You got Randy Orton making his return. Apparently, I'm gonna figure as a heel. I don't think Brock Lesnar is either a face or a heel. He's just Brock Lesnar. You have the grudge match, Lynch versus Natalya. You have John Cena in no way going to look good coming out of this match. And then Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, 47. So that's what you got. So let's take a little look at Lisa Varon, also known as Victoria and Tara, depending on where you watched her, if it was WWE or TNA. A lot of accomplishments in her career, including when she was younger. Back in her cheerleading days, she won an All-American Award. She won awards for fitness through ESPN2, Life Quest, National Physique, and the Women's Tri Fitness. She's won numerous awards throughout her career. In professional wrestling, she was named Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Women of the Year in 2004. She was ranked as high as the number 5 best 50 female single wrestlers, and that was in 2009. And let's see, she was the TNA Knockouts champion 5 times, and also a former tag team champion with TNA in the women's division with Brooke. And of course, as we said, she is a former 2-time WWE Women's Champion, and she wrestled during an era of great female wrestlers. So let's see. And then she also, other than being a very, very accomplished female wrestler, she did some managing and or valet, whatever you want to call it. Stevie Richards, Candice Michelle, Tori Wilson, Cody Reynolds, also known as Stardust now, but yeah, we know who that is. Cody Rhodes, Seth Skyfire, Kenny Dykstra, Natalia when Natalia first came into WWE, Christy Hemme, Madison Rain, Brooke, Lauren Williams, which is also known as Angelina Love. Jesse, Alex Chamberlain. She's just she's so accomplished. And I'm really excited to talk about it because she didn't take the routine way into the business. She wasn't like, she didn't wake up and say, hey, I can do that. I want to be a wrestler and blah, blah, blah. She totally didn't even get involved. She was in bodybuilding and fitness, and she got noticed by somebody else that, she was in WCW without a contract, trying to catch on, and, wasn't able to. And even though she was on TV for a few, she wasn't able to catch on and get a contract. And, she disappeared for a little while out of the business and then reappeared at WWE, where they gave her some small things to do. She met Chyna, which was supposedly a very big influence in her life. She went to developmental, did what she had to do, and then eventually became the 7-time women's champion and the phenomenon that we know as Victoria. So let's take a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Victoria. So sit back, relax, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
Funkenstein Wrestling Superstores, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous Englishtown Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information.
This is a War Machine Rhino,
the last ever ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Keep listening or you'll get gored in half.